I'm Rob Plastino. I'm the lieutenant for the Isla Vista Foot Patrol. And during Halloween, I prepare the operational plan for the sheriff's deputies at work. This was actually the calmest Halloween ever. Because of that, I'm very, very happy with how things went and all of the plans that went into place and all the people that worked hard to make this happen. Got to see the fruits of their labors on Friday and Saturday night, where we had incredibly low turnout, very, very few arrests, very, very few medical issues and hospital transports. And it just was a great overall success from everybody involved.
It's great that there's not tons of people from out of town here. As you see, it's absolutely empty. It's probably more empty than it is on an actual Tuesday night here in Isla Vista.
We actually began the evening with a briefing. You're bringing together a lot of different organizations and agencies to assist us here, from the UCPD, the CHP, you got fire, AMR, our probation officers, ABC officers come in here. Santa Maria, Lompoc, Ventura County Sheriff's Office came up here and assisted us. All of that has been a tremendous help to us to up staff out here, because with our number of deputy sheriffs, we really do need that additional support.
I'm briefly going to talk about some of the events and initiatives that students have taken on to ensure that Halloween is a safe, local, and educational event.
And that briefing included bringing in associated students to speak to the law enforcement officers as to what their efforts were. They would go out and warn people about the music violations and the towing issues with cars. And that kind of set a good tone from the get-go with the student base here.
UCIV, we're trying to do a couple different things. We're trying to, one, be a resource for both students and law enforcement. There's kind of a us versus them mentality between students and police officers. That's something that we wanted to try to remove. So one way we've been doing that is through this UCIV program, which we did in Deltopia, and now we're doing it for Halloween. Students are basically doing things from passing out water, giving people updates whether they're violating the laws, on just giving them warnings so law enforcement don't have to cite them. I mean, all that law enforcement wants is compliance.
I think that effort in itself was tremendous. So we didn't have to actually be out there and enforcing it after the fact.
Students have been really thankful and just like, oh, I didn't know I was breaking the law. And they usually stop and it's not an issue. You don't end up with a big fine. You're not end up resenting law enforcement.
The evening was very cordial. It was a lot of frivolity, just people having a good time, frisbee throwing going on, you know, kids doing scavenger hunts and coming up to deputies asking them where their next scavenger item is. And just it just seemed like a very festive mood, but in a very positive way, in a very safe environment.
I think students also just didn't really want to be here for Halloween. Their parents wanted them home after the riot. You know, they don't really like Halloween, they don't really like Deltopia that much anymore, so a lot left town. I know, I've houses with friends where it's a 16-person house and there's 3 people still here. So, it's a really quiet night. There's absolutely more law enforcement than students out on DP, which is the first time I've ever seen it.
Because of recent events, the community has decided they wanted their community back. And they basically made it their priority to not have outsiders come in and cause problems here. That was evident with Deltopia. It's evident now.
Being that Halloween fell on a Saturday, we're always concerned that it'll be an extremely busy night. We'll have a lot of out-of-towners that come into town, and there will be a lot of problems. But that wasn't the case, and the reason is because we had a lot of stakeholders that played a part in making this a safe environment. Campus also did some phenomenal events. They had a concert on Friday night and on Saturday night. They had Snoop Dogg coming in on Saturday, so that was a huge draw. I mean, they sold out of tickets like the first night, and that was 6,600 seats.
As far as the UC students I've talked to, most of them left. The ones that didn't are going to the concerts, and nobody's inviting people from out of town and really discouraging anybody that does.
The university are trying to hold them there to 2 a.m., which is great for us.
We had search and rescue and our mounted units out and about, and they were very successful in keeping the crowds moving, although the crowds were very minimal. I think the crowds were estimated somewhere max around 500 or so, which is unheard of. That's not even a normal weekend night in the fall. I mean, it was unbelievably low.
I think this is absolutely a trend. I think the culture has really changed, especially with UCSB. UC students really got the message.
This is the new status quo. This is a cultural change. And I'm hearing from them that they don't want to go back to the days of crazy Halloweens, crazy Deltopias. They want Isla Vista to become a place that's recognized for the top-notch institution it's next to, that the school that they go to is proud of them living here in Isla Vista, and that they make a positive difference and are good stewards of the town of Isla Vista. People have said thank you while I walk through Isla Vista, and I know that they have said it to other deputies out there, and that's a really good feeling, knowing that even though we're giving up something, we're really gaining something here in this town. And that's what public service is all about, is really giving back to the community, and sometimes to the detriment of our own families because we have to be gone and away from them. But I think that's what makes us special, that we do give those things up in order to provide for the communities that we serve.